Welcome everyone, it's time to get back into doing these sit reps here on YouTube. And a quick word from a sponsor helping me to bring you these sit reps. Today's is BIOTRUST Collagen. Collagen is a protein, it's one of the most abundant proteins in our bodies, and it's a large foundation in the structure of our bones and soft tissue. If you have soft brittle bones that you're trying to make stronger, or if you've had an injury that you're trying to heal from, taking a collagen supplement daily may support in strengthening bones and ligaments back to the way they should be. Go to healthwithjordan.com to see more information about BIOTRUST Multi-Collagen or check for that link below. And in today's update, we've got some new Q posts from over the weekend to cover, along with an interview that Donald Trump did on Fox News yesterday and a handful of other news stories from the last couple of days. First off, let's take a look at those new Q posts. We have 4 of them from yesterday to go over, and we'll start off with drop number 4846. This one was a message to Rod Rosenstein. Q links a tweet of his from a few days ago, and in this tweet, it says, let's take a look at it. Thank you to our Justice Department and our federal law enforcement agencies for protecting our governors and all the rest of our people without regard to politics. What does our people mean here, right? That seems coded. And Q says, do you trust your sources, RR? Do you believe the election will be successfully rigged to avoid accountability? What do they have on you? Dark secrets. Blackmail and extortion has been quite a theme in Q's drops lately. And they also gave us a screen capture from chat logs. And these chat logs are from a Star Wars video game. And this is basically how some of these bad actors would communicate with each other outside of the normal methods that were tracked, outside of governmental methods, really. So they used Star Wars chat logs, they used Gmail drafts, they used techniques like this to talk. And you can see in one of the first messages in this, it says, RR isn't taking shit, and he knows our friends have stuff on him. I'm not quite sure who is talking to who in these particular chat logs, who Dooku or Severus or Huck or Roger is. I don't know. Could be Clinton, Brennan, Clapper, Podesta, Peter Strzok. You know, there's a lot of potentials as to who these could be, but I think it's among that cabal. Now in the next drop, 4847. Q gives us essentially a redrop from a post they made 5 days ago on October 7th. This one was in regards to North Korea. And it says, do you remember when media had wall-to-wall live-in-fear coverage regarding North Korea? They also told us that China is seeking North Korea commitment to fire short, long-range ballistic missiles pre-election. Well, guess what? 2 days after Q gave us this warning on the 7th, Reuters, that they linked here, put out this article on the 9th. North Korea unveils monster new intercontinental ballistic missile at a parade. What a coincidence. How did Q know? They said stage being set. Seems like China is still trying really hard to make North Korea their puppet again to influence these elections. Next drop here, 4848. Q simply says sometimes public awareness of certain events prevents occurrence, and sometimes public awareness of certain events forces accountability. This whole QAnon back channel has definitely served to help counterintelligence purposes over the last 3 years now. And in our last drop here, 4849, Q gives us another redrop from a June 24th post they made detailing how to wage this digital information war. If one account goes down, make another. If a fellow digital soldier goes down, share their backup accounts with your following. And pump out them facts and pump out them memes. Welcome to the digital battlefield. Together we win. So that is that. Now let's get on to some of the news stories that I have up here on today's SitRep blog post. Remember, you can find all of these at jordansather.com if you want to click on the links and click on the tweets that I feature here. Let's start off with Trump's interview on Maria Bartiromo's show yesterday on Fox News. And he dropped some bombs in this one. Maria Bartiromo, one of the few that we can trust at Fox. I haven't liked Fox much lately. I don't know if I ever have, but we can trust her. And President Trump discussed DECLAS of the Russia probe. This is one of the big booms that he spoke of. And he said, I quote, documents are being released at a level now that nobody's ever seen before. Things that nobody were going to get released are now being released. And asked whether the documents are about FBI or Hillary Clinton, Trump responded, it's about everything. So let's hope we get some docs coming out about, Clinton's emails. As we've heard lately, Pompeo might very well release those before the election or after. I'm not expecting before, but we might see those soon Could be an October surprise. And about the hoax Russia probe, a lot of other stuff coming. And the subject of UFOs was also brought up, of all things. This was after Tucker Carlson interviewed the director of a new UFO documentary called The Phenomenon on Friday. That went pretty viral. More on that movie later, though. I've got a lot to say about that whole situation. I do not think it is a white hat managed disclosure, as we could say. I think Tucker Carlson's hands are sort of being forced by Fox News producers to report on a documentary about UFOs that features, John Podesta and Bill Richardson in it. Yeah, it's kind of a mess, but more on that in a video coming out later today or tomorrow. Anyway, let's talk about what Trump said about it. He's probably trying to get ahead of any fake news story about UFOs that the deep state might run in their mainstream media before or after the election. Really, you've seen it over the last 3 years, haven't you, since the New York Times put out that article in December 2017. And I noticed that in Trump's response, he specifically talked about military equipment. When asked about UFOs by Maria, Trump basically said, well, I'm going to have to check on that. I will tell you this, we have now created a military the likes of which we've never seen before in terms of equipment. Interesting response. Like I said, he specifically talked about military equipment. He sort of diverged into that subject when asked about the UFOs. Wonder why? Well, full UFO disclosure means the disclosure of what's been kept hidden in the military-industrial complex's black projects as well. All the man-made UFOs that, believe it or not, have been around since the 1950s, if not even earlier than that. Why do you think the Space Force was created? Trump and those around him are trying to disclose the UFO details along with declassify everything else that these sick, corrupt, sociopathic elites have been hiding from us for decades and decades. So that's big news. And like I said, more coming on the whole information warfare with what's going on with UFO disclosure in the news right now. Next topic, let's talk about the debate. So after Sleepy Joe Biden was scared, he was too scared to do the second debate in person and called for the virtual debate, the Trump campaign pulled out of the event. You know, don't listen to the mainstream media that's trying to make it seem like Trump was the coward. I think we know what they're trying to do. They're trying to shield Joe Biden at all costs right now. But now the White House is pushing to hold next week's previously canceled debate after the president tested negative for COVID-19. The White House Deputy Communications Director Brian Morgenstern said yesterday, that the previously planned debate should take place now, and the president is ready to do it because he's COVID-free. Well, I still highly doubt that will happen. Like I just said, they want to shield Biden at all costs and, give him a script that he could use or give him a microphone in his ear that he could use or whatever the case. I don't know. We'll see if that happens. As of right now, the next debate is planned for 10 days from now, October 22nd, and I believe that's an in-person one. So we'll see if that holds up. Next topic, still on the election, of course. We're 3 weeks away from it now. So yesterday, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris held a campaign event in Arizona, and a hilarious clip from a local news station reporting on that event made its way onto Twitter. As you can see here, there was a local news reporter, and she was basically shocked. It's a minute and a half clip where she was surprised. She has a clear surprise tone in her voice while discussing this and relayed the excuses that the Biden campaign gave to her as to why nobody showed up. It's pretty hilarious. You can come to this blog, click on it if you'd like to see it. Any poll showing Joe Biden leading in the national election is completely fake. He literally does not have one person show up to his events, not one that the cameras can see. Meanwhile, we get Trump boat parades with thousands of boats and car caravans with tens of thousands of people driving on around the country. I mean, come on. Do you really trust these polls? Hell no. Next topic. Joe Biden. News broke yesterday that if he was chosen to be the president of the United States, there are Democrats convinced that he would choose New York Governor Andrew Cuomo to be considered for his attorney general pick. According to Axios, they reported that aides at the National Governors Association, which Cuomo chairs, are looking into contingencies for replacing him just in case. Reasons to vote for Joe Biden, still zero. Do you want that man, Andrew Cuomo, the man who has basically run New York State into the ground, running the attorney general position of our country? Oh God, everything would burn. Everything would burn. Okay, next news story. This one blowing up over the last 24 hours. And eyes on this development, although I'm not sure about the validity of this quite yet, but it could turn out to be something big. I'm just saying that I'm not 100% aboard this train at the moment, although eyes on, because we'll see. So it was shared around some established conservative media that a new whistleblower was brought forward with information on the Benghazi incident, saying that Iran paid over $150 billion to Joe Biden and Barack Obama as a cover-up for the death of SEAL Team 6. Apparently this man's name, he's on the left here in the clip of the interview on this tweet. He's the Merlin-looking fellow with the long beard. Apparently his name is Alan Harrow Parrott, and he has previously been involved with the CIA. He claims to have documents detailing all of his claims that have been said. So we will see if this flops and doesn't turn out to be anything and disinfo, or if it turns out to be something massive. It would be neat if this turns out to be one of those October surprises that sinks Joe Biden's ship. We got plenty of things sinking Joe Biden's ship right now. It's pretty glorious to watch. Okay, let's do a little Sather fact check here. We had some claims going fairly viral that Clinton's emails were released, and they went viral along with a .gov link that supposedly contained a searchable database of these emails. Some were even saying that the Nephilim were mentioned in these emails. There's a screenshot from a tweet, a few tweets, a lot of tweets actually were going around, some Facebook posts too, all claiming these things. Unfortunately, these claims were shared by people who really didn't do any fact checking before sharing these things. So the website that went viral, as you can see here, was a FOIA search result, foia.state.gov, that somebody filed with the State Department. And in actuality, it contains no emails that Hillary sent or received. None. So this was not those Hillary Clinton emails that we've all been waiting for, the ones that, Mike Pompeo mentioned that he might release before the election. These were not them. False start, everybody. Throw a flag. False start. And 40head here on Twitter did a great fact-checking thread. Love me some good old discernment. He explained exactly why it's total bullshit. So discern, folks. Verify, folks. Make sure you do your fact-checking before you spread your claims and make yourself look possibly really dumb. I don't want you to do that. This is why I am so hard on fact-checking and hard on discernment, because I don't want you to look bad. I want you to really understand what's going on and be able to decipher it on your own. And I don't want you getting caught up in any disinformation out there that people are spreading for whatever reason. Okay, moving on into our next and last story. How about this? A World Health Organization official, he's an official, saying that the lockdowns are really overblown. So he's the World Health Organization's special envoy to COVID-19. And he has urged world leaders to stop using lockdowns as the primary control method against the spread of the coronavirus or China virus or whatever you want to call it. He said, quote, "We in the World Health Organization do not advocate lockdowns as the primary means of control of this virus." His name is David Nabarro, and he said these in an interview with the Spectator news outlet that aired about 4 days ago. He said, "The only time we believe a lockdown is justified is to buy you time to reorganize, regroup, rebalance your resources, protect health workers who are exhausted. But by and large, we'd rather not do it." How many times can these guys flip-flop? From the World Health Organization flip-flopping to Fauci flip-flopping all over the place. I mean, over the last month, I have never seen so much back and forth, so many contradictory statements as we've seen from these supposed health experts and the media in regards to the coronavirus. Never seen it before. It's incredible. They're trying to prop this election infection propaganda up at all costs. And now the World Health Organization says the lockdowns really aren't doing too much. There's only certain times they should be used, and they really shouldn't be anymore. But we're going to still see these Democratic governors until the election try to hold on to them. It's sickening, really, because it's destroying our country. It's destroying our economy. It's destroying all of these small businesses that couldn't keep afloat. I mean, it's sad when I drive around to places that I haven't been since before the coronavirus, and I'm seeing these empty storefronts that used to have like mom and pop shops, used to be small retail stores, or used to be, antique stores. They're just all closed now. They're gone. And now the buildings are up for sale or up for rent. So it's just destroying us, but they don't care. They just want to swing the election and avoid that accountability, don't they? So that's it for this one, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Right now, I believe we've got the confirmation hearings going on for Judge Amy Coney Barrett, her nomination to the Supreme Court. So we'll see how much those sick Democrat politicians are grilling her this morning. Hopefully she'll have an easier time than Justice Kavanaugh did. And then President Trump is going to hold a campaign rally on Wednesday in Des Moines, at the Des Moines International Airport. The governor of Des Moines isn't happy about that already. He's already making excuses as to why this shouldn't happen. He's calling it a super spreader event, but who cares? Trump's going to still hold that campaign rally. Check for that on Wednesday. And that's all for this one, folks. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, you can check the links below to figure out how to support these shows. And then remember, you can follow on Parler, on Gab, on Facebook, and then also on Instagram too. All of those other accounts that I'm putting more energy into now that my Twitter is down. So go follow those. Check the links below. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and see you soon.